say how I feel. It's like ooh la la. It's kinda easy now 'cause it's real. Hey. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Well, hi everybody. Oh my gosh, hang on, those lights are going crazy. Oh, slow it down. I just knocked a bunch of stuff off my desk, so that's why I am. Oh, okay. If you're going to be like that, I'm just going to turn those off. They're going to drive me crazy. Yes, I just knocked a whole basket of stuff off my desk, off this counter here, as I was getting ready, and boom, knocked things over. Let's see. Sounds right. Sounds funny. Can you guys hear me? Come on. There we go. That should be better. Yes, so today I have been painting slugs up until about half an hour ago. It was cold today, so Bob decided to build a fire in the fireplace, and I decided I didn't want to miss out on it. So I brought all my slug painting stuff inside, and I've been painting slugs all afternoon. And it was fairly warm. When he builds a fire in the fireplace, yeah, he means it. It got up to like 79 in there. We finally had to open the door. Aldo was like going, "This is too much, folks." So I didn't. And then we had, just painting slugs, doing all kinds of fun things. Let me say hi to everybody first, though. Yeah. Hi, Linda. How are you? Good to have you here. Thank you so much for always being here and supportive. Tamara, hi. How are you? Good to have you here. I got your artwork. And Susan is here. Yay. Hi, Susan. Nice to have you back. Won't be able to stay long. I was up in the middle of the night and I'm dragging. I'm sorry, Susan. I had a night like that a couple nights ago that I could not sleep. And it was like, okay. So that was Friday night and I slept in. Was up till 3 and then bed. So anyway, yeah. So it is. Touch buttons are okay, but old-fashioned ones work well too. Oh. So anyway, it's been that kind of scrambling. I was all of a sudden. It was 5:22, and Bob said, "When do you want to have dinner?" And I'm like, "I got a show at 6." And he goes, "Oh, I'll serve now." And then I ate, and I thought I'd come down here and everything would hop right in. And I was trying to get my overhead camera straight, and I looked up, and it was a minute till. And, girl's got to do a couple things before she goes on. So that's what I did. And here I am. It's good to be here, though. Gosh, it is so nice to be here. And to start the week out with you guys, it is truly, truly a blessing. It really is. I was thinking about this, and I was talking about this with my groups, my Saturday class group. That there's a lot of talk about community and how to build a community and whatnot. And I'm like, gosh, I'm just really fortunate that these people stick with me. They come back for stories. They like things, and we're not in the same place. And that's the magic of all this, is that we get to hear different kind of things and be in different places, but still share a love of art, a love of stories, a love of uplifting each other and others, and of finding positive things to make a difference. And that's what we just need to focus on. So, yes. Hang on. Is this one on the right? Yes, it's on the right one. Okay. So we have everybody sitting here. We've got, oh, hey, Carlos Boca Bushido, you guys. Carlos, I watched your video today on fear and worry and the story about your mom. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is stellar. Hang on, let me just do something real quick. Like I'm right here, and I'm gonna do something. Come on, come on. Go to my history, and today, there it is. Um, share, copy. That's what I want to do. Okay, you guys. Bucket fillers. I just posted a YouTube link to my friend Carlos Boca Bushido, a video he did, and if you want something extra for uplifting, go listen to this because it was so good. It's so well done, but it's also just so good and so on point. And I just loved it. Carlos, wanted to let you know Lupe's here. Yay, Lupe. All right. Okay. So we are going to kick it off on Sunday. It's show and tell night. And, I'm kind of getting stuff together because I have a feeling that Mrs. Sheppercon is going to show up tomorrow. Heaven forbid, if she decides to do a live on Monday night and read stories and just take over my house, I'm out of here if she does. If Mrs. Sheppercon shows up, my dear cousin, really, you know what she does to me and how crazy she makes my life. So if you see her tomorrow going live or doing something crazy, it's not my fault. I take no responsibility for that crazy Irish lady. Yeah. Anyway, just fair warning. But we're going to start tonight with show and tell. And we're going to go right here. Yay! And we're going to start with mine because that's what's there. And that's what popped up. Okay, so I have finished 6 days of my 100 tiny paintings. And get them up here so you can see them up close. There they are. I have done shorts on 1, 2, 3, and 4. The short for Tiny Waterfall is not yet edited or published. But Tiny Surprise or Tiny Sunrise and Tiny Moon and Mountains were just ones I did while I was in class. Carlos, don't tell on me. I was painting when we were in class. And I didn't have any reference for these two, which is these I had reference for. You can tell I got a little bit more relaxed when first off, because I wasn't videoing it and because I didn't have a reference, I could just kind of do anything. But so those are the first 6 of my 100 tiny paintings in a year. Tiny Path, Tiny Boat, Tiny Barn, Tiny Waterfall, Tiny Sunrise, and Tiny Moon and Mountains. These 3, no, this one, and this one, and this one are photos these 2 are from my great aunt. Yes, these are these. This one and this one I think are mine. Anyway. I know this one for sure. This was from a slide my great aunt took in 1961 in Hood River, Oregon, when the pears were in bloom. So that's those. I think maybe some of these other ones are the ones I took up in the Canadian San Juans with my parents back in 82. Yeah. And then these, sunrise. So that's one thing I've done. And then earlier in the week, I did another using that Daniel Smith Pixma. I can't remember. It's the watercolor made out of stone. I have just the little 6-pack of it. And so I did a doodle and then used those, like this is called jadeite, and this one is hematite, and all kinds of stuff. And they're actually made from those stones, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I did that. That was a doodle one day. And then the last doodle I've been working on, Diana Anton was talking about drawing pansies. Since it's spring and we're getting close to springs and it's pansies planting time, I sketched some out, and then I took a pens for some of them, and then I went over them with a colored pencil and am playing with pansies, and that's been my my whole thing, Bob, in art besides the painting of the slugs. And I'll show you the slugs next week, or I might do a short, but I'll show you the slugs next week because they're just and I should leave that there because my desk is messy. I don't care though, I don't care. I mean, seriously, this whole basket right here, you guys, went flying just before the live started, and I was like, oh well, okay, but it's kind of that way. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been keeping me somewhat out of trouble. Yay. Hang on. There is something missing. A window is missing with my sound effects. There it is. Yay. Okay, next we have Tamara. And Tamara sent this in. She says, this piece, Boomy Goddess of Earth, was a collage made from a piece that I was not happy with. I'm loving this result and will finish the pasting over in a few finish the pasting in a few days. Where am I? I'll put that on there. In a few days. Yes, it does take that long. A very fussy procedure. Will I make it that way? But because it's the craziness that is me. Yeah. Okay. Tamara, we would all wish to have your kind of craziness. Let me get myself out of the way here and make it round, and then it's a circle out of the way. Yay. There we go. So this is her before. The picture on the left is her before. And this is the collage work in progress on the right. Now she has some additional, she always does more for us, more additional works in progress as she goes along with it, and the details that she's doing, the work in progress here, and then detail of it, how it's coming along. I love this. What kind of paper are you using? I mean, it's collage, but what are you putting it on? It looks like it's on almost like a canvas or a rough watercolor with the texture that you're getting there. And okay, you're using collage, you're pasting it on, but are you also doing paint? Looks like watercolor or washed down acrylic or gouache? Who knows? Tell us. Person wants to know. And then this one. This is how she's got. Gosh, Tamara. So stunning. Yeah. Get your green beard. Yeah, my green man. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, Tamara. Thank you so much for sending that in. Yay. And those are the only two I have today that I saw as I was looking real fast. Why is that up there? Okay. So, green beer. Both my son-in-laws are Irish. Bryn is married to an O'Malley, and Philip's Jaroslaw is not, but his grandfather, his mom's father, was from Ireland, and he was something else. And so Annalena posted a picture on yesterday, someplace, I don't know, they were going after this, and Annalena and Layla together, and then Lachlan and Philip. And Philip had a green beer in front of him. And the guys, they'd been out goofing around. Annalena was running a 15K today for a fundraiser with the company that she works for. So that was kind of crazy, but you bet up. Thank you. I'm glad you like the series. It's fun. Gave you tried Sharpie Creative. Okay. Ooh, cool. Seeing, it's just, it's just playing, and that's why I want you guys to go watch Carlos's video, because he really touched on stuff. I mean, there's parts of that I know that I'm avoiding a lot of my photography right now because I've had that terrible thing with the whole losing my catalog and all that stuff, and it really set me up kind of on edge in this fear factor. But with Carlos, what he talked about today was not letting that do anything, and I've pushed through with a lot of my fear of drawing and art and showing it to people. I mean, you guys have been there with me from the beginning of my first sketchbook that I got at the end of 2021. I mean, seriously. And you have put up with, I mean, you have put up with the kindergarten pictures and the goofy kind of art stuff and the different kind of things that Layla and I taught. And you have but you've also been there and encouraged that we did. And what's been so wonderful and safe about this group is the fact that I know that you guys are all such stunning artists, and you just completely welcomed my adventures into art other than photography with open arms, and I just appreciate that. That would be my wish for every would-be wannabe artist or any creative, that they could find some group that was just as welcoming as you guys are. So yahoo. Anyway, on to other things. So tonight I have stories for you. And I think I'm going to start with Still Dreaming. This book, I'm going to start at the end so that you can hear about what the story is based on. And it's interesting that, we talk about history repeating itself, and you wonder how oftentimes it'll repeat itself in your own lifetime. And it's kind of crazy that it's sometimes just outside the edges of our lifetime. But, it hasn't been that long since, I lost my mom and dad, and they would have been in the lifetime of when this started, and how then, and what here I am with things still going on. But I love this story because it's another one of those situations where it's a story that reminds us of events that have happened to people, or are happening in our history, or happened in our history, and how it affected children, affected them, affected people, and what we can take from it. Plus the fact that the artist for this book is absolutely incredible. Let me go to the screen share right off the bat of this. For this book, the artist is Magdalena Mora, and she's done all kinds of things. Portfolio, illustration. View the portfolio of her illustrations. Just some really varied and beautiful kind of work. And I love the way what she's done for this book, and how it accents it, and the use of the color palette and what it does. So the name of the book is called Oh, why did I just go blank? Oh, come on, Gretchen. Uh, Still Dreaming. And it is by, let me go back to the beginning. I find the person. It is by Claudia Guadalupe Martinez and illustrated by Magdalena Mora. And I'm going to start, like I said, at the end with the author's note and tell you just a little bit about the spec setting of this. And let me make it just, see if I can get her to have bigger. Oh, good. Oh. Okay, this story is rooted in a widely forgotten part of history, Mexican repatriation. Repatriation is the act of sending someone back to their home country. However, many Mexican Americans were already in their home country. After the Mexican-American War in 1846 to 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo annexed roughly half of Mexico's pre-war territories to the United States. As part of the treaty, the U.S. government promised Mexicans living in those territories between 80,000 and 100,000 people the right to U.S. citizenship. The process to claim this citizenship was intentionally complicated by paperwork and a language barrier, leaving many without the rights granted to U.S. citizens. In the early 20th century, the Mexican population in the U.S. grew significantly due to increased demand for labor. U.S. business employers eagerly recruited Mexicans and Mexican Americans because they could pay them less. Desperate to flee poverty, these workers migrated to all across the U.S. for jobs. Mexican and Mexican Americans helped build the railroads. They worked in factories and in fields, and they became property owners and opened small businesses. Mexican Americans and Mexicans also made many cultural and artistic contributions. Intellectuals and academics disseminated ideas through Spanish language newspapers. These papers enabled writers to publish news, poetry, essays, and even serialized novels. Spanish language radio and the rise of the recording industry made places with large established Spanish-speaking communities like Los Angeles an epicenter for Mexican musicians. Renowned visual artists like Jose Clemente Ocoso and Alfredo Romeros Martinez also came to the U.S., where they influenced future generations to explore art as a tool for social change. When the Great Depression hit in 1929, economic hardship brought big changes. Mexican Americans and Mexican immigrants and migrants were told that jobs and social aid were only for real Americans. Mass repatriations to Mexico began that same year. Stories of repatriates spanned the country. However, the largest number of repatriated people came from Texas. In some cases, non-Mexican people were forcibly removed and sent to Mexico as well. Historians estimate that between 1930 and 1940, 2 million people living in the United States were repatriated to Mexico. Like the family in Still Dreaming, many families that faced repatriation were of mixed immigration status. This meant some family members were immigrants or migrant workers, while others were U.S.-born citizens. To avoid being separated from each other, a considerable number of families left the U.S. of their own accord. It's estimated that about 60% of those repatriated were U.S. citizens, many of them children. The looming fear of being separated from family continues to be a reality for immigrants today. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, more than 4 million deportations took place from 2009 to 2019. Although there have been proposed policies to offer permanent resident status to those who arrived in the U.S. as undocumented children, these policies have repeatedly failed to pass in either House of Congress. Almost 100 years after the Mexican repatriation, many of us and our loved ones are still dreaming of permanence. We are still waiting for things to change. And that was, I'll go back. Hang on, I'm going to go back up to here and then get back to the table of contents. There we go. There we go. Yay. Now, here we are, Still Dreaming. can't remember. I don't know what year this was published. Our little house where Mama's bisabuelo buried the pecan that turned into a tree is almost empty. This is our last night in our home. Tomorrow, we are leaving for a place Mama and I have only visited in Papa's stories. I tiptoe behind shadows. I hide in the corners, hearing things I'm not supposed to know. They took away my friend's father a few days ago. Others have been forced to leave too. Mama whispers to my tias, and Papa could be next. Leaving our home is the only way to stay together as a family. She stuffs our things into boxes. The next day, Papa rolls out a map on the hood of our car and traces the road to show how far we have to drive. I hug my tias goodbye. They say they will be right here waiting for us, waiting for things to change. I don't want to let them go. Time goes faster than I want. Just like that, we're in the car. We drive away at sunset when it's not as hot. The road crunches beneath our tires. We drive past the field where my friends and I played catch after school. Many of my friends' families left too. Some didn't have tias to stay behind and keep an eye on things. Their houses are empty now. A line of people with suitcases curls around the block into the middle of town. The line zigs past the boarded-up panderia where Mama would buy sweetbread on Sundays. It zigzags past the shops that we were never allowed to enter. The line leads to the train station. I look to see if I know anyone in the line. We drive further and further away until there are no city lights. The sky unfolds into so many stars. Papa's eyelids start to droop. Mama passes around burritos for us to eat in the car and to help keep Papa awake. I chomp down and watch the never-ending sky. A star shoots across the sky. I make a wish. We stop on the side of the road where there is a campfire and lots of people. Papa pulls out his guitar and strums a sweet, sad song. The people on the road are like us. They talk about their lives before. In Alaska, some pulled nets for the fisheries. Wool underwear, thick sweaters, and cinnamon tea warmed them in their boarding rooms. In Los Angeles, some owned small shops in the barrios where they lived in rows of apartments. In Michigan and Minnesota, whole families thinned, tilled, and weeded the land. They picked sugar beets and other crops. They lived in their own wood-framed houses. In Kansas, some helped to build the railroad, laying down wood and steel for tracks. They followed the companies and lived in boxcars. In Chicago, some worked in the meat plants, the steel mills, and offices. They returned from work and hung up their coats on the radiators to dry. Even though they were tired, they would dance to warm their bodies and their hearts. Mama and Papa tell them that here in Texas, our family picked and shelled pecans. I often helped after school. On those days, we ate dinner in the fields and watched the sun set behind the tree groves. Sometimes Papa played his guitar. Other times, we played catch after a long day's work. After a while, Mama, Papa, and I return to our car to sleep. I toss and turn in the back seat. I wonder if the moon will be the same where we're going. I wonder if I will make friends. I wonder if my palabras will be good enough to tell them how I feel. I dream that we never had to leave. I see the pecan trees and the only home I've ever known. There are shops. My friends and I are back together again. I chase the ball down the field. Everything is just like I wished. The sound of new voices wakes me. We are in a line of cars and people, all waiting to cross the border. Papa must have driven through part of the night. Mama reaches back and squeezes my hand. I'm not done dreaming, I say, and squeeze back. We move forward together. And that is Still Dreaming. Yes. Let's see what you guys thought of that. Yeah. I'm back on the chat all the way back to where you're talking about Tamara's work. Yeah, it's amazing. It is. And feeling while teaching us to accept failure in our own eyes. Oh my gosh. Listen to that. Oh my goodness. The act of creating is fulfilling while teaching us to accept failure in our own eyes. Wow, Susan. That's amazing. Well, I tried all day today and I surrendered to the paint. Don't we all? My hands, I'm lucky that I don't have spots on my face and everything. Better taquitos. Vera Street. Oh my gosh. Carlos, I went there in high school. Sonny took us there. It was on I was on a singing tour with a group, and he was from Los Angeles and knew about him. Oh my gosh, I spent a great day there. So good. Sweet dreams, Susan. All right. So back to where I am. So yes, it is a beautiful book. Really is. It's just one of those that it just was touched me so much. It was so beautiful. And the next book I'm going to read is by Martin Luther King's granddaughter. And it's called it's called We Dream a World. And she was inspired by the poem by Langston Hughes called I Dream a World. So I'm going to start by reading that poem first. And it is very short, but Langston Hughes is one of my all-time favorites. And this is it. I Dream a World by Langston Hughes. I dream a world where man no other man will scorn, where love will bless the earth and peace its path adorn. I dream a world where all will know sweet freedom's way, where greed no longer saps the soul, nor avarice blights our day. A world I dream where black or white, whatever race you be, will share the bounties of the earth, and every man is free. Where wretchedness will hang its head, and joy, like a pearl, attends the needs of all mankind. Of such I dream my world. Yeah. So that poem by Langston Hughes is the inspiration by Yolanda Renee King. This book is illustrated, just to give you a little hint of how amazing the illustrations are going to be, by this gal, Nicole Tadgel. Nicole Tadgel. And you can just see right there from the opening part of her work, just gives you a hint of the depth that she has for water sketching and graphite. I think this book that I'm going to read is done in watercolor and graphite. And I'm pretty sure, yes, this is called, she's Carrying the Light from My Grandparents, Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. We Dream a World. Yeah, I think it is a perfect poem. That's true. Langston, there's very few things that I love his work. By Yolanda Renee King, illustrated by Nicole Tadgel. Granddaddy and Grandma, you had a dream we would be judged by what's in our hearts, not by the color of our skin. You were gone before I came into this world, but that dream and so many others lives deep inside me. Everything you believed in still shines like the brightest sunrise on a golden horizon. Minnie asked me, do you plan to follow in Dr. King and Coretta Scott King's footsteps? How will you ever fill those shoes? Do you have what it takes to walk their path? I hold fast to all that you stood for: peace, togetherness, harmony, and love. Granddaddy and Grandma, thanks to your wisdom and determination, I now have my own footsteps, my own journey, my own dreams for our world. And so while I follow your example, I am also ready to lead. I am ready to walk the uncertain road from today to tomorrow. I am ready to keep my eyes on the prize that you set out before us with the power of your vision. Yes, Grandma Coretta. Yes, Granddaddy Martin. I am ready. Every day, I thank you for the gifts you gave so many of us through your hard work. Because of you, I know that struggle and triumph are bigger than just me. The promise of a new day starts with me. You helped us see the dream. Now we're here to be the dream. The wisdom of your words weaves a rainbow that lights our way. Granddaddy, you told us love is the key. Grandma, you taught us when the heart is right, the mind and body will follow. These words, these keys to our hearts, opened the door to all that is possible. My parents remind me that in your lives together, you shared what came to be called a revolution of values. I'm sorry there are still so many problems to endure. You devoted your lives to making our lives better. And now it's my turn to start a new revolution that values kindness, truth, equality, and service. There are still rocks in the road. I wish you were here so we could walk it together. Because our dreams need strength of love so powerful that nothing can stop them or us. We dream a world where school is a safe place, free of fear. No violence spoken here. We dream a world where guns are not games. Shoot for the stars, not at each other. We dream a world where poverty is a memory, liberty, justice, and food for all. We dream a world where the only walls are those that hold safe spaces and have windows and mirrors that reflect our unity. Beauty has no boundaries. We dream a world where trees, flowers, and Earth's creatures thrive in their right seasons. Spring, summer, winter, fall. Honesty is the warmest climate. We dream a world where bullies turn their backs on being mean. Let kindness begin with me. We dream a world where sickness can be driven out by the healing power of hope. Love is the cure. We dream a world where every child can go to college. Education fuels our nation. Reading is believing. Grandma and Granddaddy, so many want to know, how will you honor your grandparents' legacy? The answer is simple. We keep your dreams alive by planting our dreams, like trees in an orchard, to be nurtured by tomorrow's gardeners. With determined feet, blazing a new path, we are ready to take the torch you lit before we were born. We are ready to grip that glistening baton, to hold faith by the hand, to pass it on. We are ready to reach, to rise, to sparkle like stars in a bold blue sky. Our time has come to bring our twinkle, letting everyone know. Spread the word. Have you heard? All across the nation, we are going to be a great generation. From today to tomorrow, we dream a world. Isn't that gorgeous? A word from Yolanda's parents. We raised our daughter to be strong and independent. As the granddaughter of Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King, Yolanda has grown up surrounded by a legacy of civil rights. From the time she was very young, she's been a girl who cares deeply about equality, harmony, fairness, and helping others. We instilled in our only child the values of her beloved grandparents. We also encouraged Yolanda's big dreams for our world's future, while at the same time keeping her grounded in the day-to-day realities of what it means to be a young activist and how to inspire others through words and actions. On March 24, 2018, we attended the March for Our Lives, a demonstration led by students seeking legislation to prevent gun violence. The rally was held in Washington, D.C. Turnout across the United States was estimated between 1.2 and 2 million people, making it one of the biggest protests in American history. We attended the protest in Washington as a family so we could witness and support the aspiration of young people. Though stopping gun violence is one of the issues Yolanda is very passionate about, she hadn't planned to speak at the event. In a sudden, unexpected moment, Yolanda was invited to address the crowd. As any parents might be, we were a bit apprehensive about the magnitude of it all, and we were uncertain about seeing our daughter thrust into such a bright spotlight, but Yolanda was eager and ready, and not the least bit nervous. She reminded us and everyone who heard her words that young people can have a voice, and that we adults need to let them speak. The presence and convictions of so many children at Rally was proof that children from all walks of life and from many kinds and families have a stake in our future. As parents, we want what all parents would like for their children: health, safety, joy, and the promise of a bright tomorrow. We talked to our daughter about the important role she plays in shaping her future and the ways in which young people can bring about change. Yolanda talks to us about how and why even small, simple acts of compassion can have a powerful impact, and that any child can become an activist by simply being kind. When Yolanda told us that she wanted to write a book that pays tribute to her grandparents, we were very pleased to know that her words and the values of the King family would become a book that all families can enjoy together and that can foster important conversations among adults and children at home and school and larger community. We Dream a World draws its inspiration from Langston Hughes' poem entitled I Dream a World, a narrative that is a favorite among the books in our home library. We hope you'll enjoy We Dream a World with the young people in your lives and that you'll share it with generations to come. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And Nicole said, the painting legacy, I am proud to be part of empowering the young people who will read this book. As an African American woman, the strength and passion of Yolanda Renee King's words lifted me up with inspiration and hope. Pictures in my head of children, all ages, ethnicities, complexions, orientations, and abilities came instantly. I envisioned children at work and at play, shy, bold, differently abled, collaborating, expressing themselves in creative ways. As the illustrator of more than 30 books, I'm still in love with the expressive nature of watercolor painting. In the art, I rendered images of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King using warm tones to convey sepia-hued images of the past. Imaginative and inspirational color combinations drift from one page to another, melding past and present. My goal was to connect elements and themes between page spreads to fit hand in hand with Yolanda's words. My images are symbolic and metaphorical rather than literal. Young readers may see themselves reflected in these paintings, becoming even more open-minded, inspired, and passionate to make a difference, just as Yolanda Renee King knows they can be. May they discover that many making an impact in the world need not to wait for adulthood. Yes. That is amazing. Just amazing. Such a everything about it. Hi, yes, Shauna. Hi. Yeah, the visual story that she told and what she put in behind that, the metaphors and the using the tones to create the sepia tone pictures of the past, and then the vibrance of the colors, and then everything that she put together, and then Yolanda King's words. It's absolutely one of my favorite that she's done, and you pair it with Langston Hughes' poem, and I'm just like, oh yeah, needed to share that. Keep dreaming and walking. Yeah. Shanna's here. Yay. And Lupe, oh my gosh, you guys. So, yes, really stunning, beautiful art tonight. And we had Tamerson and wonderful things. You guys are so fun about my 100 tiny paintings. I stuck them to this. I figured it'll take, a bit. It seemed the logical thing to stick them to. I had little sticky things that because I was keeping them with the slides, but that became cumbersome when I knocked it all off the desk. Yeah, but so you guys, I hope that these books spoke to you in some way, uplifted you in some way. Whatever you needed to hear, it was there, I hope. And thank you so much for being here and letting me be a voice to share these wonderful books. And I just love finding them. then I have to keep ordering them for my grandkids. Like, hello, yes. I just, they're just such good things. Anyway, let's see what everybody has saying. Perfect poem. Yeah. So we've had wonderful art tonight. Can't see. Tamara says she can't see through the tears. Here anytime. Shayna's here. And what a beautiful book. So emotionally, visually, and story. Oh gosh. Teach the children well. Yeah, so important. It does really hurt. Tamara was saying natural society. This really hurts to see what is happening. It really does hurt. It does. So sad in different places around. It's just, yeah. We just have to keep finding the positive, finding the good, believing and replacing, believing and replacing. Anything not in my best interest, leave now. I say that when I walk down the street. I say that when I walk into a store. Any place I'm going, anything not in my best interest, leave now. Don't approach me. Go away. I just don't want any of that stuff around me. But you are truly. Oh, thank you. Choosing, thought-provoking, and teaching books. These lessons need to be repeated. And I think I need to hear them too. It's one of those things that I need to hear for myself to recognize that I can, even though I'm older, even though I still have a voice. I still can say things. I can still make a difference. So that's what we're doing, you guys. We're going to keep making a difference and keep filling buckets full of good stuff and tossing out the junk. So everybody, thanks for being here tonight. I so appreciate it. And everybody that's here, Shanna's here, Tamara's, Linda, Lupe, Susan was here, Carlos was here. And if anybody else, Fatima might be listening in if she's still in Ramadan. And yeah, everybody have a great week. I will be back on Thursday. I have no idea if that crazy cousin of mine is going to show up tomorrow at some weird time. Who knows? Who knows? When you have a crazy Irish Mrs. Shepherdcon cousin, who knows what she'll do. But I know I have tarts tomorrow and we have more slugs to paint. So I'm going to go back upstairs and paint a few more slugs and get them done before that crazy leprechaun lady gets here. And because no telling what she'll do. I did one with orange sunflowers on it. She'd probably get really incensed by that. But I also have 3 green ones, so she shouldn't be too irritated. But, you never know. So everybody, have a delightful rest of your evening. Happy St. Patty's Day tomorrow. And I'll see you on Thursday for more stories. And until next time, everyone, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your own mirror. So go look in your mirror. And I will see you next time.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feel alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard. They're in the
Shana, you had a live? I'm sorry. I would have loved to see it.
black cards.
I'll go back and watch.
I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous.
Note.
We could be famous. We could be famous.
Tamara, don't keep your mouth shut. Go ahead and say it. Yes, the bottom is there.
We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling
Why are you
starstruck.
eating cabbage?
We could be famous.
Oh, St. Patrick's
We could
Day.
be
I get it.